So we carry on. So yesterday we got to Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, right? So obviously we're always going to go back and recap until we're doing the whole of Fatiha together, inshallah ta'ala. I'm already starting to see quite a lot of improvement in the regulars. This is obviously said as an attempt to entice people to be more regular. People who've been with me from the first session have already like a very good isti'ada, basmala, like the A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem is already very good. I could actually get them to one-to-one correct others, although I won't do that yet, maybe in the future. Okay, so please, everybody try to attend regularly, whether you attend online. I think we're getting used to live streaming every single session now. So everybody please regularly attend. And I know that it's a difficult thing to do, to recite and have your mistakes pointed out. But, it's for the sake of, I think we all need to have a sense of brotherhood in that sense and understand that we're all here to improve ourselves and to make ourselves better. All right. And I know that sense of embarrassment is holding a lot of people back. But we've all been there. Okay. Nobody is born with good tajweed. That means everybody who today is reciting really nicely and you're like, oh, I can't recite like that guy, is because they've been through what you're going through now, that feeling of embarrassment. They've been through it. So we should just push through that, inshallah. Okay. So it would really help me if people would use their names in the Zoom ID, please. Okay. Because just like initials, IY. Do you want me to call you IY? I don't know who you are. And the other person is iPhone. So you could just give us your name, inshallah. Brother Talal, jazakallah for using your name. Okay, mashallah, Brother Yazid has also joined us. My most regular student so far, I think. Maybe along with Brother Zain, who's... You attended every session?
Except yesterday, I was on
yesterday. Well, you were on Zoom yesterday, but you attended, yeah. Okay. All right. Has Brother Kutub joined us? Let's have a look. Oh, I have to load the chat. Somebody's saying something on chat. Yeah, no problem. If you don't want, you don't have to read to me, but I can know that you're there, inshallah. I have to read. I don't obligate people to read, especially those if you're in front of me, then yeah, I want to make you read. Find a way to make you read, inshallah. Okay, let's start. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. All right, so we go back to A'udhu Billah Bismillah, right? And we recap on the mistakes and everything, and then go all the way to Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim and see if we can move a bit further. About half an hour today. I need about half an hour to prep for a meeting after that. Okay. A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
So recap on common problem areas. So أعوذ, the Hamza and the Ain. أعوذ, ذال. أعوذ بالله.
بالله.
So بالله, not بالله. بالله.
بالله.
من الشيطان الرجيم.
من الشيطان الرجيم.
So quite a few people struggle with the nat by not being able to make it kind of empty mouthed. So we were getting quite a few me not. It's not me not. It's mina. Mina shaytanir rajim. And although this mistake hasn't been made too often here actually, but it does happen. People say shayta, shay. It's shay. It's empty mouth. Shayta. And ta is without the involvement, without too much involvement of lips, without the what movement. Right? Shaytanir rajim.
Shaytanir Rajim.
So minash shaytanir rajim.
Minash Shaytanir Rajim.
Shaytanir rajim.
Shaytanir Rajim.
Good. The less movement of the lips, the better. Shaytanir rajim.
Shaytanir Rajim.
Okay, and as I said several times, that when you say ta, your tongue, I mean, the basic t sound is the tip of the tongue behind your incisors, behind your front teeth, right? That's the basic t sound. But that's also the pronunciation of ta and ta and dal. So say ad,
Ad.
and what's the other one? Up.
Up.
So you'll notice that the basic sound is coming from the same place.
Yeah.
The tip of the tongue and the back of your front teeth, right? Then there's other factors that then make the d slightly different from the t, slightly different from the ta. So in the ta, one of the features is there is elevation of the tongue. So ta, the tongue goes up like that, like that. Ta, up, up. The whole tongue lifts up. All right, and that's basically how you get that full sound. That top sound comes from the whole tongue. All right, it's not from the lips. That's why I'm saying avoid the circular movement of the lips. The top sound is not from the lips; it's from the tongue. Okay. Shaytanir rajim.
Shaytanir Rajim.
A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay, let's hear it.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Be a little bit more crisp with all the every sound is deliberate.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay. A'u, Hamza and Ain, separate them clearly. A'u. The first one is a.
Okay.
So what you're doing is you're bringing the Ain into the Hamza. A'u. No, it's not. So you're saying, so I'm going to mimic you now, right? I'm going to copy you. You're saying A'u. That's two Ains. Not a Hamza and a Ain. So slow it down. A. Yeah, that's it. Normal. A. Yeah.
أعوذ بالله.
Yeah. So A'u. Now A'u, join it. And join it fully. A'u.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
So do you remember what I said about nash shaitan? Minash shaitan. Minash.
Okay.
You got to look at the so minash shaitan. Yeah. Okay. So minash is neutral. So one of the first things I said in the first lesson is all Arabic alphabet letters are empty mouthed, except for 8. Right? Except for 7 and 2 that are sometimes full mouth, sometimes empty mouth. Right? So it's not a neutral sound. It is a deliberate empty mouth sound. So it's a'udhu billahi, not a'udhu billahi. It's a'udhu billahi, right? And that's why there's a very distinct difference when you hear an Arab person recite the Quran. Because it's an accent issue, you hear the empty mouth different straight away. When you hear somebody who's non-Arab, you'll often find that even if they get the basics of Tajweed right, sometimes they get this bit, they struggle with this bit. They can't quite get that empty mouth accent. You understand? So it's a'udhu, not a'udhu. A'udhu. It's billahi, not billahi. Billahi. So Allah's name is Allah. It's Allah, not Allah. Not Allah. Right? It's Allah, right? So similarly, it's Subhanallah, not Subhanallah. It's subhan, it's a hana, not hana. You understand? So it's not a major problem, but just if you want to recite nicely, right, and enjoy your own recitation, these are the things that you got to get right, right? So there's an active kind of empty mouth sound, kind of flat. I don't know how to put it, but like a flattening of the mouth, right? So I can only sound it out for you. It's difficult to describe, right? Subhana, alhamdu, bismillah, not bismillah. It's a'udhu billah, not a'udhu billah. A'udhu billahi. And then minash shaitan or minash shaitan. Minash shaitan. Mina, not na, not na. Na. Minash shaitan. That's it. So go on again.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
شيطان الرجيم. So the ta. You open your mouth for the sake of the fatha, but you don't do any movement of the lips to get that full mouth sound. That comes from the tongue. Shaytanir rajim. Yeah. So what you're doing is you're pronouncing a ta with your mouth rounded. The elevation of the back of the tongue isn't happening. Bit of a makhraj biology, basically. It's a bit of biology. So basically, so what's happening is the front of your tongue is elevated. Yeah. The back isn't. So you're not getting the full body thought. Shaytan. That's better. Already better. You know it? If you understand what's happening, you get it right. Go on. So same feedback. Empty mouth. It's not billahi, it's billahi. Yeah. Billahi. Boys. Billahi. Yeah. A'udhu billah. So keep it. That's a billah all the way until you get to he. Billahi. Yeah. Again. A'udhu. Same thing. A'udhu. You guys are like best mates. Huh? Mirroring each other. A'udhu. So first the a. Ru. So the ayn is after the hamza. Billahi. So stretch it and keep going. Billah. That sound. And just sustain it for a bit. Yeah. It's not billah. It's billahi. Yeah. Now just do billahi. Yeah. You get it? You're letting go of it, basically. So a'udhu billahi. And the rest? Shaytan. Same issue. He said you're doing a front of the tongue. You're doing shaytan. I can't even do it. A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. That's what you're doing. It's just the front of the tongue, but it needs the whole of the tongue. Shaytanir rajim. Whole of the tongue, yeah? Whole of the tongue. Shaytanir rajim. Shaytanir rajim. Okay, slight movement of the lips is involved. You got to eliminate it. Yeah. Shaytanir rajim. The secret is you shouldn't, if you didn't move your lips at all. Yeah. Right. In fact, if you had no lips, right, you wouldn't be able to say meme if you had no lips. You wouldn't be able to say wow if you had no lips. But you can say ta. You can say ta, right? Because that does not involve lips. Go on.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Just the noon, mina. Be conscious of it. Everything else is good.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Good. All right, shaytan. So I want you to avoid the rounding of your mouth with the ta now.
Shaytan rajim.
Good. That's exactly what I mean. So because shaytan is when you do that, you're starting to sound like there's a dhamma. It's shaytan. The mouth state, fatha is the opening of the mouth. So the mouth stays open. Do you understand? We don't really need to do anything with the lips. Shaytanir rajim.
Shaytanir rajim.
One more time.
A'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim.
MashaAllah. See, it's what happens when you attend from the beginning. Go on, brother Yazid.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Excellent. One more time. That's the test, isn't it? It's like, is that an accident? Can you do it twice?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay, don't stretch the nash.
من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay, there's something I heard in the first one. I need to check it one more time.
أعوذ بالله من
So, let the sound slide out. There's no need to.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
You're slowing the mina a bit too much. Minash shaytan.
من الشيطان الرجيم.
Good. Really good, mashallah. I think you probably made the most improvement from the first time you read to me to the next time to now. It's pretty good. Right? Now it's about making it fluid and natural. Yeah, natural.
It's practice.
That's it. That's the right word. Making it natural. Yeah, it's about practice. Go on.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
It's really good. Just the ta now. No lips. Okay, so no shade. So if you look at me and look at my lips, right? Shaytan. See that movement of the lips? That. None of that. So أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
You can see there's a what. Shaytan. So avoid the shaytan. Just do shaytan.
Shaytan.
That's it. So remember what you just did there. Do it again.
Shaytan.
Shaytanir rajim. Shaytanir rajim.
Shaytanir rajim.
So there's no wa. There's no shaytan. Because that's a wow. That's ta wow alif. It's ta alif. Shaytan.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Shaytanir rajim.
شيطان الرجيم.
Still there. That's what you have to get rid of, okay? Everything else is really good. Just practice shaytan.
شيطان.
I've never asked you your name. So
Naveed.
it's for the Naveed, yeah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان
So
الرجيم.
you know when you say shay, open your mouth. Shaytan.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Shaytan. Shaytanir rajim.
شيطان الرجيم.
Good. Rajim. Ra. Not ra. Ra. Rajim.
من الشيطان الرجيم.
Right. Good. So my point, it's fine to express and open your mouth and so on. All right. Except when you don't need to. Does that make sense? Generally, when you pronounce a fatha, a zabar, your mouth opens a bit. All right. And so on. And the pronunciations are left a little bit incomplete if you don't open your mouth much. So, for example, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. With practice, I can make that sound quite accurate, but that needs to be a bit more movement of the mouth. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. It's probably better. So just that's it. Otherwise, good. All right. Anybody online want to recite? Would anybody online? You raise your hand. I'm not gonna wait for too long. So if you would like to recite, raise your hand. Okay, we're gonna move on now. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
So everybody focus on the mistakes I pointed out. People online, I know you're reciting. That's why you're here. You're not reading to me, but listen to my descriptions of the mistakes, right? And hold a mirror in front of you and see if you make the same mistake, right? That's one way to know by yourself, because I'm giving you descriptions, isn't it? So everybody focus on on my feedback. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Rajim, that's your important one. Rajim, not Rajim. Rajim. Shaykh. So very similar to the ta. Shaytan. Shaytan. Without the lips, just the tongue. Elevation of the tongue. The same elevation exists in the ra. Ra. It's a different pronunciation, but the same elevation. The tongue is rising to provide the full mouth sound. Okay? Rajim. Rajim. That's it. Good. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Right from the beginning, the two has. Rahman, Rahim, the two has. Everybody pay attention to those. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
So somebody's saying Bismillahir Rah. Yes, Bismillahir Rah. Same as Rajim. Although I don't want to bring the two words together, but Rahman, Rahim. Rahman, Rahim. Okay? Rahman, Rahim. Not Rahman. Which is a very common thing to do for Westerners, by the way. That pronunciation comes from English. Rahman. Now, are you ready? We're taking the R, basically pronouncing R over here, not Ra. Ra is Ra. Rahman. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Say it.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Same thing, empty mouth accent. Bismillah. Bismillah. Go loud. Loud. Bismillahi.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Rahman. So Ra, full mouth, right? Yeah. So you shift completely from the empty mouth to the full mouth. Yeah. Rah. And then Rah. Ma. With ma, you switch again. You switch back to empty mouth again. Rahmanir Rahim. Rahman. Don't do it quietly. Do it loud. Rahmani.
Rahmanir
Rahim. Rahmanir Rahim. Rahim. The ha. Squeeze out the ha. Rahim. Bismillah, everyone. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
All right.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Good.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Just minimize the lips in the ra a bit more.
Okay. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
One more time.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Excellent.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Okay, so there's a really interesting thing you did there. It's very common. It's very common to Bangladesh. What do you think it was?
I think his first R was good, then the second R
No,
was.
that's not what it was.
Yeah.
It's very hard to catch.
No.
No, nobody's caught it. Again, say it again. See if you can hear it.
Bismillahir Rahmanir
I didn't do
Rahim.
it this time. So basically, the ha sometimes, so people who bounce a lot, people whose accents have a lot of bounce in it, sometimes even bounce letters like sheen and ya and ha. So Bismillahir Rah. There was a little bounce. Rah. In the first time you said it, there was a little bounce. Rah. The sound came back. Hold it. Rahma. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Ha, to make it tighter, sharper. So ha squeezes out from the middle of the throat. So Rahma,
Rahma,
Rahmanir Rahim.
Rahmanir Rahim.
Better, but just that squeeze your throat, right? The middle of the throat squeezes the sound of ain and ha. Ha is a squeeze in your throat. There's muscles in your throat that squeezes, right? They're in the middle somewhere. I don't know what they're called. God knows, right? When you say ha, so ha comes from the bottom, no squeezing, just comes straight out. Whereas ha, you catch it, you catch the air, squeeze the sound out, right? And it's muscles in the middle of your throat. I'm gonna have to get somebody who knows anatomy to basically explain what's going on exactly, right? Rahmanir Rahim.
Rahmanir Rahim.
Yeah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Yeah. Rahma again, the has, right? So Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Better. So you all know your points to focus on, yeah? Yeah? Okay, anybody wants to recite online, you have to raise your hand. I need to know. Somebody's saying epiglottis. Brother Sahil, thank you for that. Gonna have to research it though. Like, gonna have to confirm, unless you tell me that you're a doctor or what's the word I'm looking for? Like a specialist in anatomy.
ENT.
An anatomist.
ENT specialist.
An ENT specialist. Oh, we have an ENT specialist. We have to ask him. Huh? Dr. Hussein is an ENT specialist. All right. So, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir. I'm still here that Rahim. Rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
So the two lambs. Alhamdu, don't bounce. It's not alhamdu, it's alhamdu. Alhamdu, and then Rabbil Alameen, not Rabbila. Don't bounce the lamb. Rabbil Alameen. So you have to be quite disciplined with that, right? Eventually it becomes second nature. But Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Now, obviously these, like I hear them straight away, but they're not actually major errors, right? It's more important to pronounce the letters correctly. So really the most important thing is the ha. Alhamdu lillahi. Those are the words, if you like, the main word groupings. Alhamdu lillahi Rabbil not Rabbil. Rabbil Alameen. Alameen, empty mouth, not Alameen. Alameen. All right. So sometimes I'm exaggerating the shape of my mouth just to make the point, but eventually it becomes natural. Alameen. Okay. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Not Rabbil, Rabbil. 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 It's just Ra. There's nothing in between. Rabbil. Yeah. This time you went to the English pronunciation. You did the English one. The R, not the Rabbil. Yeah. You do something in between. Like I think you throw in a Hamza in between. I feel like you're doing Rabbil. So Rabbil, straight to the back. Yeah. Got it? Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbil Alameen.
Rabb, same as when we say Rabbul Alameen. Rabbul Alameen, the Lord of the worlds, right? Sometimes we call Allah Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Rabbal Alameen. Okay. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbi, I'm hearing bounces. Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbil Alameen.
Okay, Brother Kutub, activate your mic. Did you just join us? Okay, speak when you've activated your mic. I'll listen to you. Okay. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Again, discipline on those lambs. Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Alhamdu. Don't let go of the lamb.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Alam. Squeeze out the ain. Middle of the throat. So what's the rule here? Concentrate on what's happening in your throat, not the sound. So squeeze.
Squeeze the throat.
Every time I say that, it works. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Kutub. Just give me 1 second. Inshallah, stay unmuted. So concentrate on what's happening biologically, not on the sound you're trying to produce, right? The sound will come if you get the action right, isn't it? Right? So let me squeeze the throat. There you go. So again, I'll get the accent right as well. So not alamin, but alamin. Okay, ready? Again.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbil Alameen. Alameen. So your ain. So we've heard this before. So what's the problem with the ain here?
So he's doing an A instead of
the ain is starting with a hamza. So your ain is starting with a hamza. So it's that it's starting like that. It's alameen. Whereas try to go straight into the first sound that comes out is basically the squeeze. There you go. All right. Practice that. Practice that. Those are your practice points. All right. So always empty mouth accent, right? And then don't bounce the lambs. Rabbil Alameen. Yeah.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Okay. So Rabbil Alameen. Don't bounce the lamb.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Good. All right. Go on.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Again, you bounce the lamb. First one. You bounce the first time this time. The first one. All this time you've been doing the second one. This time you bounce the first one.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
This time you bounce the second one.
This ball has to.
Alhamdulillah. The two balls. It's two balls. You kind of struggling to like not. It's like it's in its nature to bounce. No, it's it's the sound. What's happening in your mouth is your tongue is touching your palate, right? So what you want is you want sound when it goes to your palate. Al.
Al.
When you let go, it's another letter. Alhamdu. Alhamdu. There's no more lam. So lam ends there. Alhamdu.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Well done. On.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
So the lambs, alhamdu, same thing as him. Alhamdu, alhamdu.
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 Right. So now join it.
Alhamdu.
So is it, you see when you let go, al, it should be don't let go. Alhamdu.
Alhamdu.
So you're not gonna, so basically the problem isn't solved if you do it fast. If you do it fast, you just get fast bounce. Do you understand? The problem is solved if you understand what's happening. So what's happening is, so say your tongue touches your palate. Yes? So when you say there is sound. Say there's hours, right? The sound. Then you go to the ha. There you go. You got it? You have to understand what's happening in your mouth. Alhamdu. So you go and then straight to ha. Alhamdu.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
So not Rabbil, is Rabbil.
Rabbil.
Yes.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbil, same thing. Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbil Alameen.
So Alameen. Squeeze out the ain. From here, it comes out. No hamza. No it's Alameen.
Alameen.
That's it. But practice that. That gets better. You get better at that if you practice it. So your practice point to the lam, alhamdu, no bounce. Rabbil Alameen, no bounce. And then ra, not ra, not rabbil, rabbil. Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbil Alameen.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbil.
Rabbil Alameen.
So ain, all three of you have a similar ain. It starts with a little hamza. Okay? Yeah. But only in this word. That's not, it's not the same situation in every word. You understand? So it's just when you pronounce the ain with an alif, it's starting with a hamza. So you have to basically focus on that squeeze, and right from the outset, the first sound is the squeezed out sound. Alameen. Again?
Alameen.
Better.
Alameen.
It takes practice. It takes practice. And it's ultimately, what I learned right from a young age, it's all about control. It's about controlling those parts and those muscles, etc. It's all about control. And then it's, it's very similar to what singers do, right? They basically learn to control their voices, right, and their mouths. Whereas over here, we're not controlling notes and harmonies, but controlling actual muscles from the source of the sound, from the root of the sound. Yeah, the makhraj, and the actual word makhraj means point of exit, the point from which the sound comes. Right, that's makhraj in Arabic, right? So. Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbil Alameen.
Brother Kutub, your turn. Say A'udhu Billah, Bismillah, and Alhamdu. All three verses.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Shaytan Rajim.
شيطان الرجيم. الحمد لله
Bismillah first. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
So the ha, you got to practice the ha, yeah? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Yeah. So the ha with a z, ha with a kasra is harder. So again, don't focus on the sound, focus on getting your throat to do the same thing. So ha, hi. Ha,
Ha,
he.
he.
In both situations, the secret is in trying to get your throat to do the same thing. Don't worry about the sound first. Get your throat to do the same thing. Ha, he. Yeah. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Brother Qutub.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
Good. Keep practicing that Rahim, yeah?
Rahim.
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 Yeah. Go on, next verse. Next verse.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Okay, Rabbil. Rabbil.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Okay, so look at me. So, Alhamdulillahi, lillahi. Right? So emphasize lillahi. Yeah, and
Lillahi.
then yeah, lillahi.
Lillahi.
Good. And then Rabbil.
Rabbil.
Okay, keep those in mind. Now do the whole verse.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Right, better. So everyone remember your points of practice. Brother Hadith, would you like to recite?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد
Okay,
لله
stop. Don't, before you go to Alhamdulillah. So that was good. Just the Ras. So Shaytanir Rajim and then Rahmanir Rahim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Yeah, better, already improved. Okay, so just pay attention to the Ra. It's not Ra. It's not an English R, basically. Yeah. So it's not like saying rage. Yeah. Right. Or rate. Yeah. Or rain or raw. We're not saying raw, it's raw. It's the tip of the tongue. Right? So the English R is deeper on your tongue. It's a bit further back in your tongue. Whereas the raw, same thing with the with certain in Bengali we have the raw, yeah, raw, dashin doro, and these letters. So in Arab, yeah. So in the Arabic, raw doesn't go so far back. It's the front of the tongue. Ra is from the tip. Yeah. Okay. So Rahman, Rahim, Rajim. Right. So Brother Harith, one more time. A'udhu billah and Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Better. Practice Rahim, the Ha. So your Rahman is good, but the Ha in Rahim is a bit weaker. So it's about trying to close your eyes, just focus on what that throat muscle is doing when you say Rahman, and then try to reproduce it in Rahim. Okay? All right. And then now, third verse, Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
So, Rabbil, keep the Ra on the tip of your tongue. Again.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbil, tip of your tongue. Rabbil.
Rabbil.
Yeah, better. Rabbil Alameen.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbil Alameen. No bounce on the lam. Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbil Alameen.
Okay. So the point of giving you feedback is to give you your practice points, what to work on. Okay. Was there anybody else? Brother Ibrahim, come on, let's listen to you. We're going to finish after that, okay? Because I've got to get going.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay, minash shaytan. Start again.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
And
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
good. Good.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbil get that straight to the Rabbil Alameen.
Rabbil Alameen.
Yeah. So we've had a few people who have to practice this. Yeah. When you say there's no sound. It's straight to the sound, right? Rabbil Alameen. Okay. And Brother Ibrahim, there's a little bit of that English R in your Ra's as well. So Rajim, Rahmanir Rahim. So the secret really is to think about, okay, where's the sound coming from? Where is my tongue? Where is the Ra sound coming from? If it feels it's coming from further back on your tongue, then it's incorrect. That's more of an English R. Whereas we want it to come from the tip of the tongue. Ra. Yeah? Okay. All right. That's all there's time for, I'm afraid. I've gone over by 5 minutes, but good. Jazakumullah khairan. Everybody, be courageous. Don't worry about mistakes. Those of you who called in, Brother Haris, Brother Ibrahim, and Brother Kutub, you read well. Okay. So there's nothing to be afraid of. And if you are making mistakes, so what? You understand? The person who, while in the process of learning Quran, makes mistakes and struggles with recitation, gets double reward. All right, gets double reward, inshallah. Okay, Jazakumullah khairan. I will see you Friday after Asr. Remember, we do this twice: Friday after Asr, Saturday after Dhuhr. If you're able to do both, you just get more practice in, and practice midweek. All right, and remember your practice points. Okay, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa bihamdihi.